I don't know how long I'll be around. Got a lot of people gunning for me, don't I? Huh? But I will not forget them. I'm never going to forget them.
All right, guys. Well, we have made it through another chaotic week of this insane administration, which means we've also made it to my favorite part in the week, called the Weekly Roundup, which means Donald Trump has now been in office for only 57 weeks. He's got 151 weeks left to go. And of course, if you are counting down the days like we loathe to do on this channel, there are 1,057 days until this demented memory patient is supposed to leave the White House. Now, of course, the Weekly Roundup is the part in the week where we gather up a whole bunch of random clips that don't necessarily touch on one particular topic, but it kind of gives us a way to catch up on anything we may have missed. And of course, the most important part, my beautiful people, we normally get to have a laugh or two as well. So without further ado, guys, let's go ahead and jump into our clips for the week. And in fact, we're going to start off on a little bit of a lighter note. This is possibly the best transition that I have ever seen or heard on Fox News. If you guys do appreciate my work and want to support the show, please do remember to subscribe.
The only way they wouldn't take action is if they agree no ballistic missiles, no more financing terror, and we're not interested in nuclear program. They're not going to do any of that.
Meanwhile, talking about credibility, it's been a debate for years. Are aliens real?
Oh! Every single time I watch this clip, guys, I am busting up laughing. Okay, so we're talking about the bombing of Iran and whether or not we are going to go to war with Iran, and then all of a sudden, guys, we are talking about the biggest debate of all times. Are aliens real? Oh, it hurts so good. All right, guys. So like I said, that was a little bit of a lighter note, but let's go ahead and get into another clip for the week where we've got Steve Scalise here talking about tariffs and gas prices.
But the tariffs are in place with all of those great economic indicators I just mentioned to you. You have $600 back in your pocket with the tariffs because of lower gas prices.
What in the actual fuck is this dude talking about? You're talking about good economic indicators that are kind of contrary to this whole tariff regime because they have been wreaking havoc on our economy. But all of a sudden, you're saying that people have more money in their pocket because of tariffs, because gas prices are lower. What does one thing have to do with the other? Tariffs have nothing to do with gas prices. And if we're talking about gas prices, guys, gas is maybe 10 or 20 cents lower than it was than when Donald Trump came into office. So I really just have no idea what the fuck he is talking about. All of the studies that have studied these tariffs so far have showed that families have paid on average more than $1,000 over the course of a year because of Donald Trump's tariffs. He is raising prices all over the economy. And maybe they didn't touch gas. Maybe that's what Steve Scalise means. But to put these things in the same sentence as though you're making a coherent point, I mean, these people are ridiculous. These people are ridiculous. Let's go to move on to Mike Johnson, where he is kind of giving the game away right here, guys. He is admitting that Donald Trump's presidency could be coming to an end.
He needs all 4 years, not just 2, to fix the mess. And that's what we need. If we lost the midterms, heaven forbid, if we lost the majority in the House, it would be the end of the Trump presidency in a real effect. So
well, you know what, Mike Johnson? You guys should probably get ready for Donald Trump's presidency to come to an end. Democrats have been overperforming in special elections all over the country. They have been picking up seats that they haven't won in decades. We've got polling that shows Donald Trump is underwater on every single issue that the American people care about. And when we're talking about Donald Trump's approval rating, he is now sitting at a record low for his own approval rating. I mean, he is sitting at a low point. I think it's even lower than when January 6th happened, which is just absolutely stunning, considering January 6th was an attempt to overthrow the United States government. And that is how unpopular that Donald Trump is currently, or that's where he is currently sitting at. So Mike Johnson, He's given the game away. Yes, if the Democrats take back the House, and it is looking more likely that maybe even the Senate is in play too, Donald Trump and his authoritarian power grab, it will be stopped in its tracks. That's why these people are so worried. That's why they are trying to shove through the SAVE Act. That's why they are talking about meddling in our elections, because they are terrified that Donald Trump and the Republicans are going to lose their grasp on power. That is what this is all about. And Mike Johnson, for once, he's saying the quiet part out loud. Let's go ahead and move on to Kevin Hassett, where he's saying, okay, let's just listen to him here, because he's talking about polling and how he's kind of responding to Donald Trump's low polling numbers. Let's see what he has to say.
A lot of consumer sentiment numbers are starting to look very positive, like the Michigan survey. And whenever you're surveying like right track, wrong track like surveys, remember that half the people are Democrats. So no matter what we do, they're going to want to dance with frogs and ignore the numbers.
What is the suggestion here, guys? Well, if you really think about it, when we take these polls, guys, there's Democrats included in those polls, so they're just gonna want to dance around with frogs instead of paying attention. What in the actual fuck is the suggestion here, guys? Does this mean we should just cut Democrats out of the polling apparatus altogether? Does that mean we should just not allow Democrats or people on the left or people who don't agree with Donald Trump to not participate in these polls because they are dragging the numbers down? I mean, is that really the suggestion here? I mean, come on, guys. This is just an absolutely absurd thing to say. When Joe Biden was president, there were Republicans that were pulling his numbers down. But now, in this authoritarian type way, they want to force their authoritarian might on every single person who disagrees with the regime. I guess the suggestion is maybe we just don't even listen to the Democrats anymore. I mean, I just don't even know how else to actually take this. And to think that consumer sentiment numbers are coming up in any substantive way, it's just a load of shit. Consumer sentiment right now is sitting at historic lows. I think it rose like a couple, like tenths of a percent over the past month or two, but it is still sitting at historic lows. So I just don't know what Kevin Hassett is even trying to say here. And I don't know about you guys, but doesn't this guy have the most punchable face that you have ever seen? I mean, I normally don't engage in these types of attacks, but why is he so smarmy? Why does he talk like this? Yes, I'm being a bit petty, but you know what? We got to laugh where we can laugh, right? Let's go to move on to this guy named Pat Fallon, I believe is his name. He's a representative he's talking about the presidency and felonious crime. Somebody with felonies.
And a former president's never been compelled to appear before Congress. Is this where this is all heading as of today?
Well, we've never had a former president either this close to a convicted felon either. I mean,
do these people listen to themselves? What do you mean that we have never had a president that has been this close to a convicted felon? Donald Trump is a convicted felon, you dumbass. He was convicted of 34 separate felonies. And they're trying to talk about the Epstein files here. They're talking about how Bill and Hillary Clinton were so close to Jeffrey Epstein, kind of forgoing the fact that Donald Trump was Jeffrey Epstein's best friend. Donald Trump's name appears more in the Epstein files than Jesus's or God's name does in the Bible. I mean, it is absolutely absurd. It's absurd to think that Bill Clinton should be on the hook for accountability, but Jeffrey Epstein's best friend, well, we should give him a pass. I mean, again, guys, do these people listen to themselves? Donald Trump is a 34-time convicted felon who should have never been able to run for the presidency for a second time. And now you want to cast shade, you want to throw shade at Bill and Hillary Clinton because Daddy Trump, I just can't handle the truth. I just don't even know. I just don't even know what to say with these people, guys. They are an unserious people who are just following their cult leader into the abyss. Let's go ahead and move on to this clip. Now, this particular clip didn't come from this week. However, it was recirculating this week because of the next clip that we are going to look at. Here's Kash Patel going on and on and on about who is flying private jets.
We're not the guys running around on private jets. And somebody, maybe in Congress, should ask for how many flights on a private jet Director Comey took, or my predecessor Director Wray took, and how many personal trips they took.
Oh yeah, Kash Patel? You're talking about how many flights did previous heads of FBI take on private jets? And they must have been abusing the system, right? They must have been going on vacations all over the world. They were abusing the American tax dollar. And you know what? We should hold them accountable for that. I mean, that's the suggestion here, right? But what did we learn this week, guys? What did we learn this week about Kash Patel? Here he is, partying like he's back in college or something, partying with the frat bros after the men's hockey team won gold medal at the Olympics. What are we even supposed to say about this, guys? I mean, look at Kash Patel right here. Kind of sucking the joy out of the whole situation. And you know what? I'm proud, to be an American. I am proud, or I'm happy that the men's team and the women's team won a gold medal in the Olympics. I think that is awesome. But could you imagine, for just 1 second, if James Comey or Christopher Wray was partying like this under the Biden administration? Could you imagine the shitstorm that would occur if this was somebody besides Kash Patel? I mean, I guarantee not only would they try to impeach Director Wray or Director Comey, but they would try to, they'd try to lasso Biden into the whole thing. They'd probably try to impeach Biden for the whole thing because Christopher Wray was flying around on the FBI's private jet, and he was going to parties with the men's hockey team after the Olympics. Definitely an impeachable offense, definitely an abuse of the taxpayer dollar, right? I mean, what is it that Kash Patel said? These people aren't allowed to be flying around. They're not allowed to use this for personal gain. What in the these people guys, these people are just unserious, right? They want to throw shade at Christopher Wray or James Comey. I think it is by law that the director of the FBI needs to be flying around in the private jet in the event that they need to be returned to the country for some mass casualty event, which totally makes sense. But there is a world where that system can be abused. And Kash Patel, right here, oops, not right here, my bad, right here, I mean, this is an abuse of the system, right? I mean, how many thousands upon thousands, tens of thousands of dollars did the American taxpayer spend so Kash Patel could go live his glory days at an Olympic event? He was not there to conduct any security or anything like that. And again, guys, they want to throw shade at everybody else. But as we've said so many times before, every accusation is a confession with these fascist fucks. They throw shade at others while engaging in the same behavior that they're throwing shade about. And you know what? I think the American people are getting fucking sick and tired of it. And I am just fed up with all of these MAGA chuds just unwilling or unable to adhere to simple standards and procedures and principles. And instead, they're raking the American taxpayer over the coals at this point. Now, the last clip that I had to show you guys, I think that this is a powerful moment. I'm not going to even attempt to pronounce this woman's name on the left. She was a victim of the ICE brutality in Minnesota. She was cut out of her vehicle. I believe is on the autism spectrum. She has some other disabilities as well. She was cut out of her vehicle, and she was dragged away, hogtied by these jackbooted thugs. okay? And she was invited by Ilhan Omar to come to the State of the Union address. And I think it is little acts like this from regular people that are powerful. But listen to what she has to say about her current situation.
So I have spent the last month learning the names of the tendons in my shoulder, because both of my shoulders are torn, cartilage and tendon, right? But what I haven't learned is the names of the people who did this to me. And that's really challenging. But honestly, the thing that I'm far more concerned about than myself is that this is an ongoing fear and threat for people around this country. What happened to me is absolutely not new in the history of this country, and we have not seen accountability that gives me any reason to believe this won't be done to somebody else.
Yeah, and she's exactly right. And this story is absolutely tragic, guys. You can see on the screen right here, this is her being cut out of her own vehicle. She's being screamed, you know, different instructions from different people. They cut her out of her vehicle, they hogtie her, they drag her away with her arms stretched behind her back, and she still doesn't even know the names of the jackbooted thugs who did that to her. I mean, what kind of country are we fucking living in, guys? It's just unacceptable, no matter which way you slice the pie. But I really think it is powerful. I think Ilhan Omar does the right thing here by inviting people like this to the State of the Union address. And we went over the State of the Union address and what I think, you know, we are living through unprecedented times. And I think if you want to show up and you've got a message for Donald Trump, if you want to sit there and shout him down in the middle of his speech, I think that is more than okay to do in this moment. I think if you want to skip the State of the Union address and carry on your own counter-programming event, that is okay too. But I really like these little acts of normal people just showing the courage to stand up in the face of this fascism. I like little acts like this, and I think it is a good reminder, guys, that nobody's coming to save us. It is going to be we the people who have the power to, you know, guide this country in the right direction. And so I really liked that she was invited to the State of the Union address. I think Ilhan Omar did the right thing here. Ilhan Omar also did the right thing by shouting at Donald Trump that you are killing people, you are killing Americans during his speech. And so, again, guys, I like these little acts of resistance. It's not a huge win. It's not, you know, it really doesn't mean a whole lot in the grand scheme of things, but I think subtle little reminders like this give people the courage to continue forward on our fight against this authoritarian power grab. So I wanted to highlight that. This week. Man, just getting I guess I'm getting a little winded at the end of the show here. But anyways, guys, those are the clips that I had for you guys this week. Like I said, it was another chaotic week in the Trump administration. We did have Donald Trump's first State of the Union address of his second term in office. And as we've already discussed, it kind of went about as well as we would expect it to go. I think it probably went a little bit better than maybe some of us expected it to go. He wasn't as unhinged as maybe some of us thought that he was going to be. But nevertheless, it was full of lies. It was full of Donald Trump lying about everything under the sun, trying to spin up an alternate reality for the people of this country. And so I don't think it helps or really hurts him. I think that this probably won't even be a blip on the radar in the grand scheme of things. But I guess that's just where we're at. That's where we're at, guys. So anyways, I hope everybody's doing well out there. We are coming into spring, which is really exciting. I saw some buds on the trees where I am currently at, and I got a bit excited about that, and I'm looking forward to the better weather, getting out of the rain, getting out of the snow, and all that good stuff. So I hope everybody's doing well out there. I will leave it there for now. If you guys got anything out of the video and you want to support independent media, please do remember to smash that like button and subscribe. If you're feeling a bit frisky, drop an American flag in the comments below to let me know that you made it this far in the video. If you guys are more interested in getting my content delivered to your inbox every day, you can hit me up over at politiscape.substack.com. You can also sign up for as little as $5 a month to help me produce these videos, which I would greatly appreciate. And until the next one, guys, everybody keep your chin up. Hope you're all doing well out there. Stay safe, and I'll see you on the next one.